In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to use Seachem Prime when doing aquarium water changes. I have this entertainment center build that you can follow on my main channel, Palmer Aquatics. I have 6 20-gallon aquariums here, and they're new setups, and I'm playing around with using live plants and also having them be new setups, so it's kind of a difficult transition or startup essentially, because it's easier to put aquarium plants in established old tanks. But anyways, back to the topic. How to use Seachem Prime when doing water changes. So let's set down the camera and I'll just walk us through this because this is really simple. I just did a 15% water change on this tank right here, as you can see, and now we're going to be adding new water in, and also here, Seachem Prime is a water dechlorinator, and when you do water changes, you need to use a dechlorinator. Seachem Prime is kind of famous for doing a lot of crazy things, and if I'm being honest, some of those things have been debunked in the industry. So it's like detoxifies ammonia, nitrate, and nitrite. Some of that stuff's been debunked. Long story short though, Seachem Prime is a very good dechlorinator for when you put new water in your fish aquarium. So essentially, I just took out some water and now we're going to add water back in. This is a hose from my sink. And here's the thing, guys. The reason you use a dechlorinator like Seachem Prime is because there's chlorine in city water. And if you're not on a city water supply and you're on a water supply, you don't even need to use this. This is a waste of time if you're on well water. If you, and by the way, the product Seachem Safe is essentially the same thing in powder form, except you can use a lot larger, you get more out of it. It's for larger amounts of water, if that makes sense. So what I'm gonna do is put the hose in the aquarium. Got a little clamp here, and essentially that goes to my sink with a pump inside of it. So I'm gonna go turn that on, so bear with me. All right, so here's the setup in my new house that I just bought. It is kind of ghetto, but this is how you get around using a water changer. What happens is there's a little pump here that runs to the aquarium and it fills it, and all I do is essentially turn this on and just plug in the pump. And it's literally that simple. For those of you that don't want to mess around with setting up a water changer and undoing this every single time, this works really well. So all you do is figure out your water temperature, and we just follow the hose to the tank here. And as you can see, it's filling. So that's a really easy way to fill aquariums if you don't want to use a water changer. And I'm very educated on using water changers. I just get sick of setting them up on the sink. So let's flip the cam here. All right, so as that fills, what you want to do is add the Seachem Prime. And this is how to use it when doing a water change. What you do is you read the directions. It says use 1 capful for every 50 gallons of aquarium water. So this is a 20-gallon tank, but we only took out like 15% of it. So literally, we need a quarter of a capful if you do the fractions on it. And by the way, you might be wondering, can I add this before the water change, or do I have to add it after? I would probably add it before, because that way this essentially makes the water safe for aquarium fish. And another thing, you can't really overdose this. I mean, you can if you did like 30x the amount, but if you did a little bit over, you don't have to sweat it. So yeah, guys, it's literally that simple. You remove the water from the fish tank. That is your water change per se. And then add your Seachem Prime before you put the water back in, and you're safe to go to add your new water. And the directions state, use 1 capful for every 50 gallons or 200 liters if you're on the metric system. So it's literally that simple when using Seachem Prime, when trying to figure out how to use Seachem Prime when doing an aquarium water change on your fish tank. Let me know, guys, if this video helped you. What I'm doing here is just kind of going through a bunch of questions people have sent me in the past via emails and kind of just putting some of these more basic questions on my smaller channels to kind of help the hobby, essentially. So I'm going to keep doing more water changes on here and using the Seachem Prime on how to do the water changes. And this is easy peasy, guys. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Let me know in the comment section what you think or if you have questions for new videos. Woo-woo.